Hello, this is Saurav. I hope you're all doing well in the midst of the pandemic. And although I would have loved to do this in person, face to face, nonetheless, I'm really excited to present our work, which is titled Editless, an efficient disambiguation algorithm for texting in languages with a Bugida script. This was done by my colleagues and myself at Samsung R&D Institute, Bangalore. So coming to what is Abugida, the first thing is Abugida is a writing system, and writing system, it means that how we represent characters on paper. So it is one such system for writing, which is common among Indian languages as well as the languages in other South Asian countries like Thai, Balinese. So Abugida is a phonogram. So it represents sound as independent of context, wherever a ligature appears, it always sounds the same. It has an independent consonant or an independent vowel, as every ligature is composed like that. And it has optional diacritics, where will be able to see in this example on the right hand side, the red marks are the diacritics appended to the saying root consonant ka here. And it produces sounds like ka, ki, ku, etc. So, and it also has a default implicit vowel, unlike languages like Korean. In case of Hangul, it always needs a explicit vowel marker, which is not the case for Abugida. And again, Abugida can have conjunctions to two or more consonants merged into one. So the most important challenge about Abugida is it has 50 plus distinct unitary characters. That is, the characters cannot be broken further, and yet they are 50 plus in number for every single language. These are some of the languages, and in all of their script, the same line has been written in their script. So this is just one example of how Abugida is being used. If you look at the market statistics and from based on big data, we have found that people who prefer Devanagari, which is the Hindi layout, which is the native layout for the Hindi, they actually prefer to type, like there are 10 times more people who actually prefer the native layout than the romanization, the transcription layout, if provided with a choice. And the strains appears for other languages with Abugida script as well. But then what is the challenge that we are trying to address here? What is the motivation behind this is if we are looking at the regional layout, if you see that there is a switch key, which is provided in most of the layout to alter between different views, to alter between the cycles and identify which character I want and to choose that character, which is cumbersome given that there are 50 plus characters. But then if I come to the transcription or romanized layout, again, there is a different problem that these words, there is no fixed set of how to transcribe them or how to romanize them, resulting in the problem that every user chooses his or her own personal preference for this romanization. And here we can see one example of a word intazar, meaning wait in Hindi. So the word here is not present in the same form. It is the J has been represented with a Z character in the vocabulary. So the keyboard's language model does not recognize it and tries to convert it into a different language, Intajam, which is means. So this is the problem that we are trying to address, and we are trying to propose one singular solution which can tackle the issue in both the native Abugida layouts as well as the Romanized layouts. Coming to the research gap that we have found in literature is in case of languages like Hangul, like Korean, it has a Hangul script, which has a CVC or CV structure for every ligature. But yet, these consonants can be broken down into Jamo sequences, and then all these Jamo characters can be actually fit into 26 character layout like QWERTY, as we can see in Tubulsik. So how does Abugida differ? Again, there are large number of characters, but not only that, it has large number of unitary characters, which cannot be broken down further, like in the case of Hangul. So the methods that we have seen in case of Korean are actually not applicable here. Then in the case of Chinese, where there are unitary characters, and again, they have a huge number of characters. But then there is something called Hanyu Pinyin, which can actually have a standardized for the romanization and can tell how to transcribe a fixed Chinese word into its romanized counterpart, which again is not the case for Abugida, leading to something that we defer as word variants. We'll come back to that later. Again, in case of Chinese, if someone is willing to type in the native layout, there is something called Wubi, and it is a stroke-based order input method. So it defines how the strokes are typed in a character, and based on that, the user can actually enter or input their characters. Abugida differs in the case that Abugida is not formed using strokes, so there is no concept of set or order of strokes. So what has been done in case of Abugida? If we look at some of the work that has been proposed so far, and in the market examples, if we see the IIT Bombay Swara Chakra or Google's Gboard, so they have different mechanism to provide different conjunctions or different combinations. Once the user types a consonant, here in case of Gboard, the row changes. In case of Swara Chakra, a cycle appears with the options which are now possible. But that may be cumbersome to many users who are not familiar to how every character is formed. So our proposal addresses this challenges using by proposing these two things. But it is actually one singular algorithm focusing on the phonetic similarity of characters, unlike the ones we have discussed in the research section. So, and it enables ambiguous input for Abugida scripts, which looks similar to T9 or multipad as we can see in English, but the implementation is much more simpler and more efficient. And the word variant disambiguation when we come to Romanized transcriptions. So how we'll go about this is we'll first talk about the methods and research results of ambiguous input for native Abugida, and then we'll go on to word variants and discuss its methods and results. So coming to ambiguous input for Abugida. So if we have to type the Hindi word Sarkar, meaning government, in a regional layout, so this is what we would have done so far. That if you look at the keystrokes here, the second and fifth keystrokes have to be exactly on the character R to form the word. But what we are proposing is an ambiguous layout, and then the user is free to tap anywhere on the key, and the language model can efficiently figure out what is the intended word and populate it with it. So our architecture is actually like for every language, there will be an extra layout that we are proposing, an ambiguous layout. And this ambiguous layout will be powered by a core language model, which has an augmentation as an ambiguous vocabulary, as well as a mapping. So this mapping we will be maintaining using something called Melissa-Trie, which retains the shared indices. Now, when we are talking about combining the keys, it comes with an ease of use for the end user, but it creates problem for the language model since there is more ambiguity in determining which key the user actually intended. So what do we do about that? So we find a trade-off balance where our number of keys will be most optimal. And we are finding this out by predicting the number of key sequences in different layout. We are trying with 2, 3, 4 multiple characters per key, and then trying to see how many of the words actually get mapped to the same key sequences. Because the words sharing the same key sequences will not be possible to predict them with 100% accuracy. That's why we are computing such number of words. And yet we have seen for languages like Hindi, Bengali, and Thai, even though after we have combined 50 plus characters into 7 consonant keys and only 1 vowel key, almost 90% of key sequences can still be accurately predicted, which is common trend observed in these 3 languages as well as some of the others that we have seen. So for Hindi and Bengali, we are going with 7, and for Thai, we're going with 8. But then how do we combine the characters? So we are grouping the vowels into 1 key, since we are going by the phonetic similarities, and same goes for the consonants. So we are combining the consonants based on their phonetic similarities. It is very common for native speakers because that's the way languages are taught in childhood. And velar consonants like k, kh, g, all those which are produced by the same mechanism of the vocal system are presented as 1 key. Palatal consonants ch, ch, j, jh, these are presented as yet another key. So we are defining something called sibling characters. The sibling characters are defined as characters basically which get mapped into 1 single key. So all of these k and g, these are sibling characters of each other. And for a training purpose, we are using some public and proprietary data sets, as well as for the evaluation section, we only used public domain data sets for Bengali, Hindi, and Thai. And we have restricted for only those sentences which have at least 15 characters and at most 35 characters, because that's the use case which applies when it comes to soft keyboard applications in short text. So we define preload model as the language model which comes inbuilt when the language is downloaded or when the phone is open out of the box. An ambiguous representation of a word refers to every word has a representation such that it will be acted upon with a set of rules and these rules will create a different unique representation, which makes it identifiable along with the sibling characters, sibling word sequences. So these rules are designed such that any character, any two sibling characters will definitely have a single ambiguous representation. So, and how we are going to denote it is this will be a representative character. So the character having the least Unicode value, the first character on the key set, basically that will be standing as the representative character for all of the characters in that key. And as we are talking about the ambiguous vocabulary, it is going to be augmented on the general vocabulary, and it will be prepared using the same application of rules. How it looks like is, in case of some examples of in Hindi and Bengali, we are seeing that, let's say the first two examples, although they are two different words, but they have been mapped to the same ambiguous representation. So is that a problem? It's not so, because we have seen that 90% of words can still get predicted, and what we will be seeing in the accuracy sections, how good this performance is or how it doesn't perform well. So in the base LM, we are using op-ngram, which is a lightweight n-gram model, which is good for our case. And we are restricting the vocab for 100K words, which again is covers most of the words in the language. And we have a vocab trie, which comes with the default Melissa trie of vocabulary words. And then we are preparing this ambiguous representation, ambig trie. If you see the size of ambig trie compared to a vocab trie, it's almost about 72% of the original vocab trie size. If once we have this representation, this layout, the user can actually type the sequence like that, and all the words will get auto-populated into the suggestion, and the topmost suggestion will get pre-filled, and the user can just go on typing in the keyboard. So how did we evaluate about this? So we evaluated using some beta trial users who have typed the sentences manually, because this requires an actual user interaction, because we are targeting how we are improving the user's interaction or the time taken for the user to type word. And we are measuring using two KPIs. One is we are calling keystroke saving ratio, which is number of keys which we are actually saving by which our language model can actually suggest the words, number of keystrokes typed required to type a character. And then it comes to next word prediction. It is another KPI which basically denotes how many words we can actually predict. The higher the NWP and KSR, the better in our case. So we are considering only the top 3 suggestions. So in our case, in all the evaluations, it is top 3 suggestions. So once the user has typed these characters, if we look at the graph, the mean has reduced from 24 seconds to only about 19 seconds. So that's the amount of time that they are taking to type one single sentence, and that's the improvement. So what's the effect on the typing speed? We are seeing Hindi has 19%, Bengali has over 25%, Thai has over 14%. So this is the time improvement, how much less time they took to type. But is there any impact on NWP and KSR? For NWP, we did not have any impact at all. It was perfect, same as before, as earlier. When in case of KSR, there was a minor drop, but that is again expected because we are introducing a bit of ambiguity in the key sequence determination. And our average inference time is increased by only 1.4 milliseconds, which is very minuscule in our case. So coming to the second section, when we talk about word variants and in the Romanized scripts. So what is word variants? As we said, we are defining for every word, there can be multiple ways how it can be transcribed in the Roman alphabet. And so this row 1, row 1, 2, these are multiple representation ways of typing the native word new one. As in the example below in Hindi, so kafi, the word kafi has been written in multiple ways, and every user can choose their own way. There can be a 4th or 5th way altogether to type the same sentence. Same goes for Thai. So we are calling this kafi, these variations of kafi or these variations of intizar, all these as word variants of each other. So what is the problem? Why do we need a disambiguation? One thing is when an unseen variant is typed by the user, we think of it as a typo. The language model does not recognize it. It autocorrects it into a next word, into a different word. And then even if the word somehow gets entered, it is always treated as an out of vocabulary. We cannot do any prediction whatsoever on top of that. Again, if in vocabulary variant and sometimes an out of vocabulary variant is entered by a user, we fail to recognize that these words are the same. So that's why we need this ambiguation. How do we do it? We again use the same transform function we have used earlier in the previous section, and the same kind of set of rules with a minor modification. What is the modification here is we, instead of having separate layout, we actually have we basically have an ambiguous vocabulary and a general vocabulary as earlier, but the mapping right now, it is also accompanied with a set of production rules which goes into the device. How are the rules defined? It's like based on linguistic features of a language. So let's say in case of English, some people prefer to type the character ch as ch, and some prefer ch. So we have a similarity or equivalence between them. And every such equivalence, in every such equivalence, what we are doing is we are taking the one of them which is lower, lexicographically preceding, and uppercasing it and putting that into the rule that both of them will now become this new one. So basically H in case of Marathi and H are equivalent. So we are converting any double H to one single H. We are just representing it as an upper H here for understanding. As we can see in these examples here, in English, there are two words, Pradhan Mantri, meaning Prime Minister, which has been represented in two different ways, but they still share the same variant representation, which is how we recognize them as the one and the same word. Same goes for Bengali. There is one word, Dharmio, which means religious, and Dharmiya. So both of them has been transcribed differently, but has the same word variant representation. In this case, our base try is only 76% of our vocab try. So, and how we are generating it is similar to in the previous use case. So in case of composing word identification, what is that is when the user types the word, how do we recognize what word the user is typing? We are looking it up in both of the vocab tries and then converting using the shared Melissa try indices, because they have been stored in such a way that they have a rank information and they are interchangeable among themselves. So we can find out which word is closest to what the user is trying to type and offer it as the correct autocorrection candidate. Next, we come to the next word prediction when there is already some context with the preceding context, that is the number of words that have already been committed earlier, with out of vocab tokens, which are actually word variants. And now we can recognize those word variants and convert them into their closest in vocab variant and process accordingly. So this is a flow chart just highlighting basic in details how we are going about that. Yeah. So once we have a user's language model, the user keeps on using the smartphone over a period of time. We can do this two kinds of learning. Basically, we can learn what variant the user preferred, and we can suggest it later in the future. And another thing we are proposing is variant agnostic learning, which is that whatever variant the user is using, maybe in different contexts, the user is preferring different variants. Nonetheless, we can now identify all these variants as one and the same and learn it. So for evaluating this section, we have used a data set for Hindi, English, Benglish, Marathi English, Tenglish, and Romanized Thai. These are Romanized versions of 4 Indian languages and Thai. And we have filtered by hashtags of trending stories. That's how we found some tweets which are actually in those languages but have been Romanized by independent users, by real world users. And then we have cleaned by removing the English phrases which have sometimes occurred. And then we have transliterated some of them from their native script using linguists. And based on that, this data set, we have actually found our evaluation. So once we look at the data here, the KSR has a massive improvement in case of English, Benglish, Marathi English. In case of Tenglish, it's a bit low, but again, the trend shows for all other languages about 25%. In case of NWP, it's a whopping 70% for many languages, and we can see the trend going in the same way for error correction. That is the precision, recall, and the F1 score, how we are able to identify users' error and correct it. We are seeing improvements in all of these sections, and that is what we have observed for these 5 languages, at the cost of only a 1.12 millisecond addition for every single word that we are trying to figure out. So what now? What we have proposed is one core algorithm, which we have basically been able to propose and assist and enable two different input methods. In case of ambiguous input, we have typing speed improvement of over 19% with only a minor 1.57% drop, which is again is expected as there is ambiguity we have introduced in these determination. And in case of word variant disambiguation, there's a KSR improvement of 22% for English, and an NWP and EC are 62 and 10% on average. This is all of improvements. And if you look at the market stats of how this performs in real world, so between April to September 2020, we have seen about keyboard monthly average users in these languages increase about 26%, which we are correlating with Datler's introduction. And a back key ratio has been decreased, which is also an improvement, because back key ratio has been decreased by 30%. That's about every one of all three previously denoted back keys are now now saved. And in case of what we are going to do about this later, we are exploring how we can use it in the Roman script languages. Like there are some applications of baby language, like some people prefer typing cute so much in this kind of variants. How if we can recognize these variants as the same word as their actual in vocab variant, and to do a phonetic query information retrieval, or in case of search engines, if the user is not spelling correctly. So there is some references. So we are talking about OpNgram, the base language model that we have used, and some other applications where we are thinking of using it at least. So that's all from me for now. I'll now give it up to you. So if there are any questions, so I'll feel free to take them now, or you can connect with me later. Thank you.